And I'm the one I'm the only one that has started to do anything about this. Bakit? Ang mga nakaramba na Pangulo, may nakita ba kayong ginawang ganon? Meron ba silang kinulong? Meron ba silang finish na account? Meron ba silang mga investigasyon na ginawa? Wala. Sa akin lang. Tapos sasabihin, ako daw ang may kagagawan. Eh kung talagang racket ko yun, ba't ko sisirain yung racket ko? Di ba? That makes absolutely no sense. So,
Good morning, Mr. President. Almost a year ago, during your fourth State of the Nation address, you called out corruption and said, mahiya naman kayo before the members of Congress. That set expectations from you and your administration that you will wage war against corruption and no one will be spared. 1 year hence, Mr. President, do you think your administration has done enough and fast enough?
well, I cannot say that we have done enough because we're not done yet. Unfortunately, the more we look, the more we find. And it's going already back beyond my administration, beyond my term. If you remember, I think it was in 2018, already the minority floor leader in the House, Nonoy Andaya, already says that he had uncovered 300 plus billion flood control mess. And so when we look at what happened last year or the year before, then we can see that the pattern extends beyond 2022, back beyond 2022, and back to about that time, 2017, 2018. And at the time, President Duterte, acknowledged that there were great problems in terms of the flood control projects, pero wala namang nangyari. Having acknowledged it, it did not find accountability in anybody. So that, I guess that was left up to me to do. And so we are still doing it. We're still working on it. As I said, the more we look, the more we investigate, the more we find. And this is I think, I mean, you're all experienced journalists. You know this is a deep-seated system of corruption that requires not only structural changes in the way government is run, in the way that the budget is written, but also a change in attitude. Kasi ang sinabi ko, mahiya naman kayo. Pag tinanong mo sa akin, nahiya ba sila? Yung iba, hindi. Akala nila, karapatan nila yung gagawin na ganun eh. Wala kaming ginagawang mali. Ganyan talaga patakbo rito. And that's the hardest part to change. That's the hardest part to change. The culture of within government, where to take I mean, they put all kinds of nice words, rebate, kickback yan. Wala nang ibang sa tunay na salita, kickback yan. Okay daw yun. Para sa iba, okay sa kanila yun. At saka karapatan nila bilang whatever. Meron silang share doon sa ginagastos ng pera ng gobyerno.
One follow-up, please.
Yeah.
What do you plan to do moving forward, Mr. President, now that corruption has become the favorite talking point among your critics and those who are calling for your ouster?
My answer?
My ouster.
My ouster?
Yes. Binabalik po nila sa inyo ito.
From critics.
Yeah. Kung hindi ko sinabi yung sinabi ko sa SONA, wala tayong pinag-uusapan na ganito. I'm the one who exposed all of this. And I'm the only one that has started to do anything about this. Bakit? Ang mga nakaramba na Pangulo, may nakita ba kayong ginawang ganon? Meron ba silang kinulong? Meron ba silang finish na account? Meron ba silang mga investigasyon na ginawa? Wala. Sa akin lang. Tapos sasabihin, ako daw ang may kagagawan. Eh kung talagang racket ko yun, ba't ko sisirain yung racket ko? Di ba? That makes absolutely no sense. So,
Mr. President, selective justice.
I'm sorry?
Selective justice.
What about selective justice?
Pinipili lang daw yung mga kinakasuhan, yung mga iniimbestigahan.
No, from the time that we formed the independent commission, sinabi ko, we'll just follow the evidence. And we'll continue to do that.
Thank you, Mr. President. The next question from Kathy Valiente of Manila Times.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Mr. President, the Senate Impeachment Court will begin po the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara. As a former senator judge, do you think po the accused should attend the trial?
Do I?
Do you think po dapat mag-attend po yung accused sa impeachment trial po? As a former po, Senator Judge.
Well, my only experience with an impeachment trial was with when I was senator with Corona, the Corona impeachment trial. And it's really up to the accused whether or not they feel they need to appear. I guess the lawyers from on the defense side will give their advice. It's not for me to say one way or the other. But of course, it would be much easier to get to the bottom of everything if you can speak to the accused directly. And the accused can answer directly, not through secondary channels, not through the lawyers. Kung diretsong makapagsagot, di siyempre mas magiging maliwanag ang proseso, mas magiging madali ang proseso. But that's just my own opinion, and that's not a legal opinion because I'm not a lawyer. But I'm just trying to put myself in that position. So I would probably myself, if it was me being accused, I would almost insist over the advice of lawyers. If they advise me not to appear, I would insist on appearing because kaya ko namang sagutin. Di, sige, sagutin natin.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're down to the last two questions, Mr. President. So, Evelyn Quiroz of Filipino Mirror.
Wala.
Yeah.
Here. There's another one here.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning.
Follow-up ko lang po sana. Meron po tayong inventory ng mga contractors, congressmen, and construction companies po na previously in-announce niyo po kasi po nung nag-present po kayo sa amin 11 months ago, meron pong 15 contractors na naka-corner ng mga malalaking flood control projects.
So, what's the question?
Ano po, may inventory po na nasubmit sa inyo?
Oo. Hindi pa ako nakapag-speech sa SONA, meron eh. Maliwanag naman eh, nasa papeles lahat eh. So, in fact, if you remember, when I spoke about it with you around that time, nagbigay talaga ako ng listahan ng mga kontraktor. And since then, naimbestigahan sila lahat. Yung nakitang meron talagang problema, may kaso na sila. At saka na-freeze na yung account nila. Tapos tuloy ang investigation sa kanila. At itutuloy ang mga kaso sa kanila. Yung iba naman, there were naman one or two na it turns out na although nakapangalan sila doon at malaki yung mga kontrata nila, wala naman naging problema. So, but we have the inventory not only of the contractors but also the projects themselves that are problematic.
Follow-up lang po, Mr. President. Pwede po makahingi ng comment nyo doon po sa plano ng ombudsman na i-discharge as a state witness si former DPWH Secretary Bonoan. Sabi po kasi ng ombudsman, mas mapapalakas daw po ang kaso against the former speaker,
Well,
Martin
again,
Romualdez. Thank you po.
that is up to the ombudsman to decide on how to proceed with all of these investigations. And if he feels that the former secretary, Manny Bonoan, will be helpful to the cases with the other people, then again, to use the word again, it is his prerogative. It is his decision. It is his judgment to make. And I have complete faith in the ombudsman and what he's doing.
Thank you, Mr. President. The last question from Helen Flores of the Philippine Star.
Mr. President.
Good morning.
Sir, in light of the rising violence involving minors, there were proposals to ban the use of social media for minors, specifically under 16. And there were also proposals to lower the age of criminal liability, now at 15 years old. What is your take on this proposal?
All of these possible actions to be taken, like the banning of a certain, we banned already the game that yung shooters sa Tacloban were apparently avid players of. So we're looking to, you see, here's the problem. The problem is that yung mga ganon, I'm sure all of you have seen on these games and how they're played. It desensitizes killing and violence. Kasi laro lang naman eh. Kasi kahit na mabaril yan sa game, bumaril ka ng 50 tao, nabubuhay pa naman yan eh. So it desensitizes the kid. Now, it's not really that big a deal to shoot somebody. And that's really, for me, the problem. On the other side of that question is whether we should lower the age of To
Criminal liability.
Yeah, but no, they're even talking down to 12 years old. I'm not sure how that will work. If we have to study it further. Yung mga ating mga child psychologists, yung mga surveys na ginagawa about the mental health of children, kailangan pag-aralan na mabuti yan. Because if we are lowering the age of responsibility for such crimes, then it would imply that children have changed from before. So whereas if they are under 18, under 16, nagbago ba ang pag-iisip ng mga bata? I'm not saying that that's not the case. It's possible. Nag-iba mundo eh. Iba yung exposure ng mga bata eh. Iba yung exposure nila sa social media. Nung lumalaki ako, wala namang ganyan eh. So maybe that has an effect. We're not sure. But we're studying it very, very well because the effect is yung desensitization. That's also the lowering the sexualization of young people has the same effect. The complete availability of pornography. And look, we all have they talk about this side and that side. And nalagay lang, are you 18 or not? A 5-year-old can answer that properly, di ba? So what kind of test is that? So when it comes to sex and violence, there really is an effect. The social media really has had an effect. But what that effect truly is something that's not as easy to answer as perhaps some of the other issues. So that requires some not further study, but some of the opinions of our experts who make it their life's work to study the psychology of children, the effect of social media on children, and their actions that they do when they are not playing those games. So patuloy lang ang ating gagawin. But of course, when it is clear that a certain game or a class of games are responsible for the desensitization of our children to violence, then yes, I think we should ban them, and we will ban them.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Alright.
That concludes our press conference this morning. Thank you po. Maraming salamat,
Maraming
everyone.
salamat. Thank you.